Welcome to the Mukesh Manoharan studio. You know, if you've ever felt like you're just buried in data, you know exactly what that chaos feels like. But what if you could take control? What if you could master the grid and turn all that chaos into pure clarity? Well, today we're going to demystify one of the most powerful tools out there for organizing information, Microsoft Excel. Let's dive right in.
Does this feel a little familiar? Maybe your desk or even your computer's desktop is just a total mess of receipts, project notes, and all these scattered lists. It's that awful feeling of just drowning in disorganized information. But don't worry, there is a surprisingly simple, elegant way to bring order to all of it.
And that, my friends, is exactly what Excel was designed to do. Think of it as this perfectly structured space that takes that messy jumble of information and just organizes it into a clean, logical grid. It's all about transforming chaos into clarity, and we're going to walk through it together step by step.
So here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the absolute fundamentals. Then we'll build a real practical project. After that, we are going to unleash the magic of formulas, see how to visualize our data, and I'll even throw in some pro tips to really speed things up. Stick with me, and by the end, you'll be all set to start your own Excel journey. So, let's get going with the basics.
All right, first things first. Before we go any further, what is Excel, really? You know, at its core, let's break down the fundamental concept. At its heart, Excel is a beautifully simple idea. It's just a grid, that's it, rows and columns. But in that simplicity, you find its absolute genius. This grid is the perfect structure to store stuff, organize it, and most importantly, analyze it. Everything from a simple grocery list to a super complex financial model, it all starts right here. Okay, so when you first open up Excel, you'll see these main parts. The entire file is called a workbook. Think of it like a whole notebook. Inside that, you have worksheets, which are like the individual pages. The grid itself is made of numbered rows going down and lettered columns going across. And where they cross, you get a cell, like A1 or C5. And that big toolbar at the top, that's called the ribbon. And it's basically your command center for everything.
You know, the absolute best way to learn anything is just by doing it. So let's get our hands dirty and build something practical. We're going to create a simple monthly expense tracker.
So to begin, we just type our info right into the cells. We've got our categories, food, rent, travel, and the amounts for each. I mean, it's functional, I guess, but it's not very easy to look at, is it? It's just a plain old list of numbers sitting there.
But now, look at this. With just a few simple formatting clicks, making the headers bold, adding currency symbols, maybe some borders, the data is instantly transformed. It looks cleaner, way more professional, and it's so much easier to understand at a glance. This is really the first step in making your data start to tell a story.
Okay, so entering and formatting data is cool and all, but now we get to the real magic of Excel, formulas. This is the part where you let Excel do all the heavy lifting for you. And writing a basic formula is actually super easy. You just pick a cell where you want the answer, and then, and this is the most important part, you always start by typing an equal sign. That's the signal that tells Excel, hey, get ready to calculate. Then you type a function, like sum, select the cells you want to add up, and just hit enter, and bam, the answer just appears.
And sum is really just the tip of the iceberg. You can easily find the average of your expenses, you can count how many items are in your list, or find the max and min values, the highest and lowest. These simple functions are truly the building blocks for almost everything you'll do in Excel. Now here's a concept that is an absolute game changer once you get it. A relative reference like A1 is flexible. If you copy a formula, it cleverly adjusts itself to the new spot. But an absolute reference, the one with the dollar signs, is locked in. Those dollar signs are like putting a padlock on it, telling Excel, no matter what, always look at this specific cell. It's perfect for things like a tax rate that you need to use over and over again. So we've got clean data and we've got some calculations. The next big step is to find the story that's hidden in that data. Let's move on to organizing and visualizing it so we can pull out some real insights.
When you start dealing with bigger sets of data, two tools are going to become your best friends: sort and filter. You can instantly sort your expenses from the highest to the lowest, or you could filter the whole list to show only the things you're interested in. It's how you find exactly what you're looking for in a huge sea of numbers.
And this right here is the big payoff moment. We take that boring old table of numbers, and with just a couple of clicks, Excel turns it into a powerful, insightful chart. All of a sudden, it's not just a list of costs anymore. It's a visual story. You can see in a split second that rent is by far your biggest expense. Now that's the power of visualization.
All right, now that you've got the core concepts down, let's supercharge your workflow. I've got a few tips that'll help you work a whole lot smarter, not harder.
Honestly, learning a few keyboard shortcuts is the single fastest way to get faster in Excel. You've got your basics like copy, paste, and undo, of course. But learning Control plus the arrow keys to jump around your data, or Control-Shift plus L to quickly turn filters on and off, it will save you an unbelievable amount of time.
Here's another one that's a total game changer. You know how you scroll way down a huge list and then you completely forget what each column header was? Well, Freeze Panes is your solution. It locks your header row right in place so your titles are always visible no matter how far down you go. Such a simple trick, but it has a huge impact.
Wow, okay. We have covered a lot of ground today, from the basic interface all the way to creating charts and using pro shortcuts. So, where do you go from here? Let's talk about how you can kick off your own Excel journey.
Look, the real key to getting good at Excel is just practice. Don't try to learn everything all at once. Start with a small, personal project, like that budget we just built. Check out the built-in templates to see how the pros structure their sheets. The most important thing is to learn by doing real tasks that actually mean something to you.
And just remember this, every single expert out there was a beginner once. Excel is one of those tools that really rewards you for practicing. By getting comfortable with these basics, entering data, formatting it, and using simple formulas, you're not just learning a program, you're building a super strong foundation for much more advanced skills later on. So there you have it. You now have the fundamental building blocks to bring order to your own data. The only question left is, what's the first thing you're going to organize? A personal budget? Maybe a project plan for work? Or just a collection of your favorite movies? Hey, if this explainer helped you get started, make sure to subscribe and click that bell icon so you get all our updates instantly. The possibilities are endless now. Go ahead and get started.